had another just blessed weekend in America of chaos and carnage. There were 6 mass shootings in 24 hours, 2 in North Carolina, 2 in Louisiana, 1 in Texas, the terrible scenes out of Michigan. But fear not, because the president is on the case.
This morning, President Trump declares he's deploying troops to Portland, Oregon.
Oh! Portland! You just missed it! You're gonna want a little to the, you've got the right country, but you're gonna want to shift the resort. Why Portland?
Así es, una vez más, Trump está mandando soldados a una ciudad americana, como lo hizo hace poco en la ciudad de Los Ángeles, pero la pregunta sigue siendo ¿por qué?
One of the justifications Trump has continually used for sending troops into our own cities is to protect ICE facilities. And there was a protest outside a Portland ICE building the day that he announced with 4 protesters. In fact, for most of the day, the only protester was one man in a chicken costume.
Trump posting, I'm directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland.
In the orgy of mass shootings in America, Portland?
Portland residents were surprised to find themselves at war with their country. And to undercut Trump's claims, they posted images like this beautiful park and this open-air bakery stand.
As for the president's grim description, though, people are now posting under the hashtag war-ravaged Portland images of what they say the rest of the city looked like on this sunny September weekend. And war-ravaged, it isn't.
Entonces sabemos que en la ciudad de Portland no estaba pasando nada malo. Tan es así que cuando los oficiales de Oregon se enteraron de los planes de la administración de Trump, trataron de bloquearlo.
And Oregon officials are asking to block the president from ordering state National Guard troops into the streets of the city.
Entonces no solo se informó que no había ningún problema, también lo trataron de bloquear. Entonces la pregunta es, ¿por qué era que Trump tenía esa preocupación tan grande por la ciudad de Portland?
One extremely credible theory is that Trump watched a single Fox News report earlier this month, which mixed current video of smaller anti-ICE protests with video of much larger protests back in 2020. Supporting this theory is that when Trump spoke to Oregon's governor, Tina Kotek, this weekend, she told him there was no rioting and no need for troops, to which he said, well, wait a minute, am I watching things on television that are different than what's happening? Yes. Yes, you are.
O sea, si este güey se pone a ver Walking Dead, entonces va a empezar a mandar policías a Atlanta para que rescaten a la gente de los zombies.
The truly scary thing is that the president does not seem to know the difference between fiction and reality.
The president, however, has a lot to say lately about the Rose City, as well as 5 years ago during the far more extensive Black Lives Matter protests.
You see what's happening in Portland. This is like nobody's ever seen anything like it every night. And this has gone on for years. They just burned the place down. These are professional agitators. Right. These are bad people. You go out to Portland, people die out there. Many people have died over the years in Portland. Portland is, I don't know how anybody lives there. It's amazing. But it's anarchy out there, and that's what they want. I watched Portland, Oregon last night burning to the ground, just burning, with people, and these are agitators, and we're going to stop them. We're going to stop it all. We could solve Portland in about, I'd say, 22 minutes. Okay. They're anarchists. They're Antifa, they're radical left, but they're wise guys. We could solve that in 2 minutes. When you look at a Portland, I want them to let us in. These are anarchists. They're agitators. And either they do something or we're going to do it. Either they're going to clean up Portland soon or the federal government is going up and we're going to do it for them.
O sea, la gente del gobierno se lo dice. La gente común y corriente pone fotos diciendo que toda su vida es completamente normal, no pasa nada. Y él aún así sale a mentir. Desde el 2020 está diciendo la misma retórica, que la ciudad se está cayendo, que está siendo incendiada. Básicamente ya esa ciudad ya no debería existir. Pero como es una ciudad demócrata, entonces es toda siempre su estrategia. Hablar mal de esa ciudad para meterle miedo a la gente. Y una cosa es hablar mal de algo. O sea, una cosa es decir, pues no me gustó mucho la comida. Y otra cosa muy diferente es decir las mentiras tan garrafales que él está diciendo, como decir, me trajeron la comida con gusanos. Porque eso es gran parte del problema, que las mentiras de Trump siempre son exageradamente grandes. No son mentiras moderadas, son mentiras impresionantemente fuera de la realidad.
The point is, there's no war attack going on in Portland, and when the governor of Oregon informed Trump of that, he had a somewhat unnerving response.
We're learning more about the back and forth between President Trump and Oregon's governor. Governor Tina Kotek says she spoke with the president on Saturday.
President Trump told NBC he had a phone call with Kotek that showed him a different perspective, saying, quote, I spoke to the governor. She was very nice. But I said, well, wait a minute. Am I watching things on television that are different from what's happening?
Yeah, man, we all are. The difference is a lot of us have the critical thinking skills to suss out what's real and what's not. Like, there used to be this show that portrayed you as a brilliant businessman that could turn Meatloaf into a CEO, but we all know that in reality you tried to sell steaks at an electronics store and you couldn't keep a casino open. A casino!
El que Trump no sepa lo que está pasando en el mundo también es en gran parte su problema, porque todos los presidentes siempre tenían un informe diario donde explicaban todo lo que estaba pasando en todo el mundo, todas las cosas importantes, sobre todo en Estados Unidos. Pero desde la primera presidencia de Trump, él siempre se negó a tomar parte de estos informes diarios, al menos en la forma clásica. Los que les estaban dando el informe tenían que ponerle dibujos, fotos, escribir el nombre de Trump muchas veces, porque si no, él simplemente perdía el interés y prefería irse a jugar golf.
The Trump transition was far and away the most difficult in its historical experience with briefing new presidents.
According to a new report, President Trump has abandoned a practice followed by the past seven U.S. presidents. The Washington Post reports that Trump rarely, if ever, reads the president's daily brief, a document that lays out the most pressing information collected by U.S. intelligence agencies. Instead, the president relies on an oral briefing. One source says that reading the dense document does not fit in with Trump's style of learning. Experts like former CIA Director Leon Panetta warned that by not reading the full briefing each day, Trump could miss important context on intelligence issues, and that could put the country in a more vulnerable position.
The Washington Post reports that for much of the past year, the president rarely, if ever, participates in reading his president's daily brief, a document laying out critical information collected by U.S. intelligence agencies from hotspots around the world. Quote, Trump has opted to rely on an oral briefing of select intelligence issues in the Oval Office rather than getting the full written document delivered to review separately each day. According to three people familiar with his briefings, reading the traditionally dense, intelligent book is not Trump's preferred style of learning, according to a person with knowledge of the situation.
He may have literally touched the book, as his first briefer said, but he didn't actually read anything. So it's a shocking revelation there, too.
This explains so much about the governing philosophy of the Trump administration. There is reality, and then there's this.
My people tell me different. They are literally attacking, and there are fires all over the place.
So, the President of the United States, alone in his bescreened bunker, sees reports of conflict in Portland on TV. His lackeys reinforce the chaos, and rather than take a breath, rather than take a beat, rather than not acting rashly, rather than using the resources available to him as the President of the United States to find out what the realities on the ground are, he just goes, Code Red! Red team, go! Because he sees it on TV and acts impulsively.
Entonces sabemos que Trump solo se entera de ciertas cosas que solo un grupo pequeño de personas decide. Porque igual esa gente le miente y no lo sabemos. Entonces, si Trump solo toma las decisiones en base a lo que ellos le dicen, ¿quién gobierna en realidad el país? Porque de las brillantes personas que están actualmente en su gabinete hablaremos en otra ocasión.
A far too common theme in the second Trump presidency is that Trump does not know what is going on within his own administration.
So, Trump sending troops to a major U.S. city and simultaneously losing all touch with reality. But you know what? Things could be worse. And they are.
More American cities could soon start seeing U.S. military deployments, whether state officials want it or not. Today, President Trump told the nation's top generals and admirals that major U.S. cities should be military training grounds.
San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military, because we're going into Chicago very soon.
The president there describing the situation as a war from within.
Meanwhile, the non-Portland area of the country is going through some shit. As we mentioned, there's a mass shooting now like every couple of hours. Previously, the routine would be we express our shock, we express our sadness, we offer our thoughts and prayers, we spend a day, maybe two, arguing about the appropriateness of bringing up guns at all, and then we do nothing until the next time.
Hasta aquí la tenemos que dejar porque para tocar el tema de las armas y como es un problema que solo afecta a Estados Unidos, tendríamos que hacer todo un nuevo video. Así que como ven tenemos muchas cosas de que hablar, así que por favor suscríbanse, porque tenemos que hablar de temas de salud, vivienda, armas, el gabinete actual, el proyecto 2025, entre otras muchas cosas más.